Good evening and welcome to tonight's inspiring edition of What's Your Story? My name is Catherine Mwangi. Again, privileged that you have made the time to tune into KTN Home tonight. We have a story that you just need to fasten your seatbelts for because, as you know, it will just, let me not say shocking, let me not preempt it for you. You listen to it for yourself and then, be the judge. But this lady reached out to me on Facebook. I'm always saying to you, just reach out. I may not talk much, but Millicent will give you a call and just get to listen to what your story is. So she's an author and she has 3 books. We will get to speak about them. It's the little things that count, how to find peace and prosperity in a chaotic world, and 7 steps to your ideal weight shape. Evelyn Kerr, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Uliamua unakuja hapa ukibling bling, eh?
Lazima.
Yeah. You look amazing.
I have to show that it's possible to be sparing, but at the same time looking the beat.
Looking awesome and wonderful. So I'm told you came from Kitale today.
Yes, I actually flew this morning.
You flew in this morning. Nini sio kutumia tima basi zinapitisha kwa potholes. You flew in this morning.
Yes.
I'm so glad you came. Thank you so much. Your story is long and wide.
Definitely.
So first there's weight, which I have known now because I found you talking to Millicent about weight loss.
Yes.
So we'll get there. But in reading your profile, first I'm intrigued about your background. Let's talk about that. Where were you born? Your parents, siblings?
Kenyan girl, through and through.
Okay.
Born in Mombasa. Grew up in Kitale.
Okay. Oh, how?
And schooled in my primary was in St. Mary's Immaculate Kitale.
Yeah.
Then high school was in Webuye, somewhere in Misihu, St. Cecilia Girls.
So how did you move from Mombasa to Kitale though?
My parents are agricultural officer and they were posted in Mombasa after college. Yes, so that's how we started in Mombasa.
Yeah.
Then after my mom saw things in town with 4 kids.
Yeah.
We are 4 in our home.
What born are you?
I'm second born.
Oh, like me, yay.
Yes. So she decided, I think Shamba ndio best.
Okay.
And she was looking, because she's an agricultural person, she was looking for some place where she could plant her crops.
Yeah.
So Kitale became the destination. So we moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went to primary school there and high school there?
And high school was in Misihu.
Where is Misihu?
Misihu is on your way to Webuye. That's in Western.
Okay.
Yes, Western Province. So I schooled there.
Yeah.
Then when I finished is when I came to Nairobi Kibondeni College here in Lavington.
To study what?
To study catering and accommodation.
You had a passion for hospitality, food?
Yes, I've always had a passion for food and cooking because of my mom. She also did the same course.
Okay.
So I wanted to pursue it and do more. Actually, initially, I was supposed to do it as a pre-course as I prepared to go to university because I wanted to do mass communication.
Oh.
But once I landed in the cookery career, it's like it just took over.
Yes, it apprehended you.
It apprehended me.
Yes.
And I wanted to learn more.
Yeah.
So then I discovered, hey, there are stars in hotels. I also want to work in those stars. Yeah, so I started off at Kengeles. That was my first attachment.
Oh, nice. Lavington still.
Lavington still. Then I went to, so by the time I was going to Kengeles is when the idea of joining a group called Opus Dei. It's a Catholic organization which runs the college I was in. So that's how I met Opus Dei.
Oh, so Kibondeni College is run by
Opus Dei.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So there were ideas, but then I wasn't sure. I wanted to still pursue career, so I went ahead to finish my attachment. Then I worked at Hilton and Serena for a bit. Then I decided, I think this call is...
So wait. Tuserakishe hii story, please. We have time. Tuko na time. So you finished attachment at Kengeles attachment, and then now you went to the stars. Your dream of going to the stars. Hilton and Serena.
Hilton and Serena.
What were you doing there?
So I was doing service as a waiter. Yes.
So you're good with people.
I'm good with people.
And yeah, you are. Because nimepata mkojo ya story with Millicent. I'm like, kwani they know each other and I'm going to introduce them. So okay.
Yeah, I'm a people's person.
Yes.
from when I was little. I
Yeah.
remember I used to perform for my parents
Uh-huh.
some little verses, and
You are those
so
children.
I was that kind of outgoing child. You know, when the visitors are there and
Yeah.
they're like, "Come and entertain us," I was that kind of person. So I think it grew in me.
Yes.
And of course, in the hospitality industry, I think was ideal to actually
Absolutely. Yeah.
match the personality
Yeah.
to the career.
So let me ask. So fine. So you finished attachment, and now started working. So you joined the workforce.
Yes.
You're earning a proper salary at that time.
At that time.
So why did you still feel an attachment to Opus Dei?
I remember when I was finishing,
Yeah.
I'd already started talking about joining them. Initially, I wanted to join as a married member, but then I think the power of being convinced, because I remember actually the words that convinced me was, you've met God when you are single. So doesn't that tell you that God wants you to give your singleness to Him? And I thought, well, makes sense. And I remember I asked 2 questions. Number 1, will I be able to fulfill my dreams?
What were your dreams?
My dreams was to continue and do a degree because I'd just done a diploma.
Right.
So I wanted to do a degree. And I also knew that I have a passion to help people. So can I help people while I grow as a person?
So, okay. So for those of us, I'm actually in that group who do not know what is Opus Dei. What is it?
Now, Opus Dei is, first of all, it's a Catholic organization.
Okay.
So it's under the Catholic umbrella, but it's an organization for lay faithful. So you join if you want to either live your life in celibacy or serve God in your marriage, but offer your work. So they specialize more in serving the God in your work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meaning what? Give me an example of something.
Meaning that it doesn't matter who you are. You can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, and you can still join the organization and keep serving God, either in celibacy or in marriage, but doing your profession.
So you joining the organization as a married person, as a professional, what are you joining the organization for?
You're joining the organization to be able to be guided in their spiritual way. Their spiritual way is through offering your work to God. And of course, you will be asked, of course, to do several things in terms of finances. Like your finances will also help in furthering the word of God as you live there. Personally, for me, I joined as a chef and a service person. So I was actually serving the members of Opus Dei in their institutions. They have several institutions. So I was working as a chef there. So I work as a chef. My salary goes to help Opus Dei run its spiritual works within the country and, of course, outside the country, because the organization started in Spain. But it's all over the world and, of course, in a few African countries. Kenya was the first African country, but they're also in Nigeria. Recently, they're in Uganda. And I think they've gone to 2 more, Angola or somewhere else, lately.
So giving your whole salary?
Yes.
Okay. And when you joined, you were considering joining as a single person, as a married person, but then you were convinced?
Yes, I was convinced to join as a single person.
Because?
Because at the time I was single.
Yeah.
And they felt, maybe it was more ideal for them also. But also they felt that since I've met God at that particular juncture in my life, it automatically indicated that I should give myself to God then.
What does meeting God at that time?
Meeting God at that time is, I had the calling to want to serve God when I was still single. Even though I would date a bit here and there, but I hadn't chosen a life partner and moved on into marriage. So the idea was God meets you at the point where He wants you to serve Him then. So that was the idea then. But also, I think I was young. And when you're young, you make decisions that sometimes may not be...
Rash decisions.
Yeah, rash decisions.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think part of it was youth talking to me. But also, I've always wanted to serve God. But looking back, I think you can serve God anywhere. That's what I realized. And I realized that the taboo that keeps going around, that once you leave, you're going to be cast. I mean, look at me.
I mean, look at you, girl. Sure, you're an author. You're an author.
Imagine.
But hold up. So I see your coffee is here. Could we please have Eve's coffee so that she can have fire in her bones to explain to me exactly what was happening in that organization? You take sugar?
Little.
Little.
Although you can omit it, it's okay. I can do with or without.
Millicent ameitupa tu hapo chini. Hata sungelete kijiko akoroge imixiane.
I'm the producer.
Millicent, you're introducing yourself. Yeah, that's Millicent. Okay, so your coffee is here. I hope it's balanced well, is it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So at the point at which you decided, okay, I'm going to join Opus Dei, did you tell your parents?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I'm lucky my parents are Catholic too, so it wasn't hard to explain. Maybe what was difficult to explain was if I was serious, because at that age, every parent believes their children are joking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember even my dad told me, are you sure? I need you to wait a little longer and maybe decide later in life, because at this particular moment in time, I'm not sure this is your decision. And I told him, I've always been very outspoken and my dad knows.
Yeah.
So I told him I've decided.
You mean stubborn, eh?
Yes.
I can see those traits.
So I just told him I decided. And he
Yeah.
knows once I say that, doesn't matter what he says, it's done.
It's done.
So he let me be.
So you...
But
But?
I have very good parents. So they told me, just remember, we are here, we've been here, we will always be here.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that's
So I'm
beautiful.
really grateful for my parents.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you packed your bags and moved somewhere?
Yes. I packed my bags, I moved. So you start with, they have a center of studies where you study to understand your vocation.
Okay.
And then that takes about 2 years. You study while you work. And then after that, I stayed there for 7 good years.
Which years of your life were this?
That was from 2008 up to 2015.
Just the other day?
Yeah.
7.
7.
So those 7, you are a chef?
Yes, I was a chef. Though of course you do 1 or 2 things depending on, because my career was all round. I could serve,
Yeah,
I could do laundry,
Yeah.
but mainly I was a chef because that's my strong point.
Yes. And you took a vow of celibacy?
Yes, I took a vow of celibacy.
What does that vow say?
So the vow says you cannot engage sexually and also engage with the opposite sex. Anyhow. Whichever way.
Anyhow?
Anyhow.
Even
you can only say hi.
Oh, okay.
You can only say hi.
Only?
Only.
Si tukule chini story, tuchape story. At all?
Okay. Sometimes you would, because I was a speaker also, and I would use my speaking to help people. So you'd meet, of course, the opposite sex. And because we are living, the vocation was to be in the world, not secluded. So, of course, when you're going shopping or when you're running errands here and there, you'd meet people. So definitely there was a chance. But the mantra was, do not engage. Because once you engage, then it's a slippery slope.
So those 7 years of your life, any man who looked at you and wanted a relationship, you would ignore?
I would have to say politely no.
Politely? And then you'll go back to...
And then I'll go
to
back
center
to
and
center
cry.
And pray.
Oh, not cry?
Pray.
What would your prayers be saying?
And you renew your vow to celibacy. Because there definitely temptations will be there. But of course with the Catholic faith, there's confession. Then there's you one-to-one talk with God every single day. And then of course with the vocation, we would have daily mass. That was a mandatory thing to do. So those things would help you live your vocation, because they'll be a reminder of your relationship with God and how you build it. So definitely, like if I met a man in the streets and I liked them because I'm human, I would have to talk to my God and tell him I liked that person,
And I'm
but
sorry.
I know I gave myself to you. Not sorry per se, but it's like a relationship. When you're married to somebody,
Yeah.
when you cheat on them,
Yeah.
it's good to tell them. That way the temptation does not continue. And also, this relationship grows stronger because it's open and clarity is sure. So the same, celibacy with God is, you will fail at some point, definitely. We are all human beings. But how you be open about it to God and like walk back and say, okay. There are moments I remember when the temptation would be too high, because you'd meet, and anyway, as you can imagine, I'm beautiful.
I mean, girl, of course. I mean, please. Let's not even say the obvious. So what does a high temptation look like?
I would be invited out for lunch, dinner. I remember I gave in once.
Oh, to a
Because I
dinner.
wanted, no, dinner was impossible because I needed to be back to cook. So lunch was more probable because I could escape. And then, of course, I wanted to feel what it's like. And I think the thrill of doing the not supposed to do.
The works of darkness.
Yes.
Okay, let me not.
The devil was in the details.
The devil was in there, quite literally. So you just wanted to know what it
I
feels
just wanted
like to be, you know.
And then also, I think after being living my celibacy for like that, I remember that I'd stayed there for around 5 years
5.
at that time.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
and there's that human feeling to want to be loved.
Yeah.
And sometimes the same way it happens in marriage, people take you for granted. You start feeling like I'm being taken for granted. Like I'm just working and offering it up and serving God, and I'm not gaining anything. Okay, it's human,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's part of also the celibacy life, same way that it happens in marriage.
Right.
You start feeling tired of that relationship. And I think also what added to it was the fact that the dreams and the goals that I wanted to pursue were now stagnant.
You felt that.
I felt like my life now is just revolving around saucepans and spoons and...
Hey, so a lot was going on
A
at
lot
that
was going on,
time.
yeah.
Those, yes.
A lot.
So
Definitely.
that date you went for, the lunch date.
So the lunch date I went for,
I cannot forget things
enjoyed.
like that. I cannot. I'm a hopeless romantic. So you went for this date.
I went for this
Chini ya
date,
maji.
Chini ya maji, and got a stolen kiss. Chini ya maji, God forgive me. But
You didn't feel guilty? You didn't beat yourself up?
Of course, I felt guilty later on when I was by myself with my God in the chapel. And of course, there's confession, and then there's...
Oh, you went to confess to a priest?
Yes.
Oh, wow, you're nice. Okay.
I think I truly wanted to serve God.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Otherwise, sometimes I look back and I'm like, was I the same person?
Yeah?
I'm like, what happened to me?
Okay. So year 5, you're having all these thoughts. I need to be moving forward. What am I doing with my life? What is the reward to what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
It felt good going for that lunch date with this boy. And, you know, maybe you're thinking many things.
And I'm like, this could be... And I reverted back to the dreams of, I could have my own children. I could live my life. I could drive my car.
When you couldn't drive your car?
I couldn't because of the vocation I'd chosen. The vocation I'd chosen was I gave up all the luxuries as well. So the only luxury I would have was, of course, a nice house, a nice room, a little pocket change.
Yeah.
And my makeup, and even the makeup and the lotion, I couldn't go too expensive.
No?
Yes. Wow. So it was, well, it's difficult, but at the same time, I did it joyfully. So I wasn't begrudging that.
No.
What I was begrudging was my success. My story had stopped. I was now just living I was living somebody else's story. So I'd just taken somebody else's story and put my name on it.
Whose
But
story do you think you are leaving?
I think I was living what the people I was living with at the moment wanted me to do, because there was a lot of control. You know, like I can't do something unless I consult somebody. You can't reach out to so and so unless somebody allows you to. So there was too much control. Too much control that I felt, no, I'm not serving freely. I'm no longer serving freely.
Yeah.
And then the degree was next year.
Yeah.
And next year. And next year. And now I'm looking like it's 5 years. My God, I'm going to grow old.
And during this time, were you relating with your parents? Would you see them, talk to them?
Yes, I remember after 5 years, I would talk to them, they would come to visit.
Oh, nice.
But during that 5-year period, I couldn't go to visit them.
Why?
Well, personally, because the first 2 years of studying to learn the vocation, you're not allowed to go anywhere. Partly because of it will interrupt it's like class. It will interrupt the process. Okay. So you finish the 2 years and then now, but my parents could come anytime.
Okay.
They could come visit anytime they wanted. In fact, we used to have family days every year. Okay. So they'd come every year. Yeah. But now that I actually look back, I'm grateful my parents were able to come. Because how many parents would be able to travel far to come and see their...
Very, very few.
So I had a rare privilege that my parents would be able to come. Yes. And every time they were very supportive. Yeah. Very supportive, like, how are you doing? And I think precisely because of that, I also added weight because now I was just eating. I think I was taking out my stress on food.
Through food, yes.
So I even remember my mom, the last year she came and told me, where are you going with this weight?
Wow.
And that's what got me thinking.
Yeah. Where am I going actually?
Yeah, where am I going with life? Where am I going?
Where are we going? Yeah, it's not just the weight.
It's not just the weight. It's like I'd lost myself. I needed to find me.
Yes.
And actually the journey to lose weight was the start.
Yes.
It was the first staircase to finding me.
And as you take your coffee, we will come back. We have to come back. You know, for real, we have to come back because we need to know the journey to that. She reached self-awareness at year 5, that stage where what's going on. Then the mom's question, I think year 6, you said. And then she said she stayed there for 7 years. So what happened year 7 that just made her like, you know what, pack her bags and start life afresh. So don't go too far. What's your story? We'll be back. Ulichapa character development. You know those things happen in this world.
Oh, I tell you, shock on me.
Well,
the first shock was that the dating scene had changed.
Well, girl. Yeah.
And there was chaos.
Welcome back. It's What's Your Story here on KTN Home. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're speaking with Miss Evelyn Kea. She is an author, 3 books, okay? One of them is about weight. The weight she gained, if you didn't join us in part 1 and joining us now, she gained this weight when she was at Opus Dei, and she had taken a vow of celibacy. And she was committed to living her life celibate. Until one day, something inside of her just starts to stir, and she feels, where is my life going? And her mother asked, where is this weight going? So then what happened?
So remember that last year, I was just, everything was half-hearted. The prayer was half-hearted, the service was half-hearted. Though it never looked that way because I'd practiced it so much that it was just off the cuff.
It was part of you.
It was part of me. But deep down I knew I'm becoming half-hearted. And despite the fact that they used to give us holidays, I would go to Mombasa for a break to study some more, but also to relax and have a vacation. So those were the highs of the vacation. But still, now they started becoming a chore. Yeah. Like I'm going on vacation and I'm not excited.
Who does that?
Who does
like,
that?
Come on, give me a vacation. If you want to see excitement, just give me a vacation. You are not excited.
I wasn't excited. Or I was only excited by the part of staying beside the beach. But then when I think about the studying and the sitting around with my sisters and talking, I was like, I'm exhausted.
So you were lifeless.
Yeah.
Something had died.
Something had died in me.
So what did you do then? Because whatever it is you did must have taken a lot of courage.
I remember I was still hanging in there,
Yeah.
dragging my feet, but pulling the cart all the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So I remember the stroke that broke the horse's back was during that year, the second founder of the group was being beatified in Rome. And we were a few members were supposed to go. So initially they told us, whoever can afford the fare
Yeah.
for the trip can go.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, maybe this is my redeeming moment to actually get my mojo back and maybe leave this vocation to the fullest. I was actually thinking of staying.
Wow.
So I called my parents and I told them, I've been postponing this degree. Why don't you, instead of the degree, give me this trip to Rome?
Wow. Wow. Yeah, you wanted to rekindle the fire.
I wanted to rekindle the fire. I really wanted to find a reason to stay. But water was poured onto my dreams yet again because my parents were very good. They sent me the money very quickly. I started processing my passport.
Wow.
I was eager, happy.
Yeah.
It was like finally something is happening.
Yes.
Some life is opening up. But then they told me I should take my money and pay for somebody else to go. It is the will of God. I think that broke my back.
I mean, what? Wait, and you obeyed?
That's the last straw. I couldn't take it anymore. I took my money and I ran.
Okay, this has twisted in a way I did not see this coming. Wait, you did not pay for somebody else?
No.
You did not go to Rome?
I did not go to Rome.
You?
I started a new life.
How and where? How did you run? My goodness.
I just told them, I think where we have reached, I am exhausted. I can't go on anymore. I want to find myself a new life.
Wait, who's telling you that it's a will of God for you to use that money on somebody else?
Usually the
The
directors.
organization. Not your parents.
The directors of the organization, not my parents.
Hi. Yeah, your back was broken.
So I think I just had enough.
You ran.
I took whatever was left, packed my bags, and I told them goodbye.
At least you said goodbye.
Yes, I was kind enough to say goodbye.
Did you know where you were going?
Technically, yes. Technically, no.
Okay.
Because I knew I was going home. But what I was going to do exactly, I wasn't sure.
Yes.
I wasn't sure.
Yes. So you left and
So
went
I left,
back
I
home.
went back home.
What were the conversations you had with your parents?
I remember before I left,
Yeah.
I called my parents. My mom is usually the easier one to approach first. So I called my mom and I told her, I think I've had enough. This was the second time I was telling her. In fact, I had told her before, but then she told me, just make sure it's what you want.
Okay.
So I waited.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the issue of the trip happened and I decided, you know what? I think my first decision was right. I should just go. In fact, I just told her, I made up my mind, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And she told me, welcome home.
Wow. Wow. Why?
I was relieved. Because I can't imagine how many parents would have ranted,
Yeah.
tortured you with words
Yeah.
or even much more.
Yeah.
But she told me, welcome home.
That's beautiful. Did you have to deal with feelings of guilt or regret? Were you having those?
At that particular moment in time, I think I was fed up. I was ready to move on, and I didn't want to let guilt. I didn't want to even think about guilt. Okay, I'm lucky enough that every step of my life, I've always made a decision and I go with it. Kumbaya, mbaya.
The stubborn ones are like that. Stubborn ones have no feelings.
Come on, mbaya, mbaya. We are going ahead. So I decided, I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
Any thought that looked backwards, I deleted.
Yeah.
In fact, I just told myself, you have a clean slate, no past. Pop.
Eesh. And it was erased. In fact, why are we even talking about it? It doesn't exist. No, but you have to, because, wow, this is so powerful.
It built me. I have to
Yes.
talk about it because it's part of who I am.
Yeah.
It made me who I am
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Because I learned a lot. And it made me a spiritual person. I was never a spiritual person per se. I was, I'd gotten my faith from my parents and carried it on. But now this gave me my own faith.
Personal relationship.
My own personal
with God.
relationship
Yeah.
with God.
Yeah.
So definitely,
Yeah.
that's a plus I carried with me.
Yeah.
And also character building. I had a lot of character building and work ethic, which
Okay.
I learned.
Right.
Because we worked a lot.
Yeah.
We worked hard.
Yes.
We offered it to God a lot.
Yes.
But it was good
It
for
was
while it lasted.
for that season.
For that season.
So did you like go into the dating scene immediately? You know, what were those things you ulichapa character development? You know, those things happen in this world.
Well, I tell you, shock on me.
Well,
The first shock was that the dating scene had changed.
well, girl. Yeah.
And there was chaos.
What kind of chaos did you meet?
First of all, the language in dating had become vulgar. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
People used to be polite.
Yes, and
I
gentlemen.
mean, we used to be treated as
And
queens.
there you go.
And
There
now
you
we are
go.
nearly
We
treated
were the
as,
hunted
I
ones.
tell you. Now we are the hunters.
Now we are there hunting. We are like, where are these ones?
Like, what? That was the first shock.
What was the second one?
But the second shock was that nobody wanted to date for marriage. People were dating for fun.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely I had to
Recalibrate.
change
Yeah,
and
yeah.
figure things out yet again. But I decided, you know what, let me focus one thing at a time.
Yeah.
First, career.
Right. So you built
What
that.
am I going to do with
Yeah.
myself?
Yeah.
Before I wonder who am I going to do it with.
Yeah.
So I sent out applications to different places. I called out to my college friends. I'm back in the market
Literally.
looking for a job. And of course, in case you have a good boyfriend, because I've discovered here, you need a recommendation, otherwise you're going to get...
You need somebody to
you need somebody
refer
to
you.
refer me. Otherwise, I might land in trouble.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
So luckily for me, a
Yeah.
friend of mine got me a job in Vihiga. So I moved from Nairobi.
Yeah.
I went to Vihiga,
Okay.
Sosa Cottages.
Okay.
That was my first landing job.
Nice. Nice.
But while I was waiting for Vihiga, I was running a few errands back home and
Yeah.
trying a few...
Things.
I remember my dad opened for me a shop, but didn't work. The shop business didn't. So when I got to Vihiga, I was like,
Yes.
I'm running. Thank God for the experience I'd built, and also thank God that I'm good with people.
Yeah.
I had managed to do a very good CV that got me a job as a supervisor, which is rare. Because usually when you leave such places, you start from scratch.
Kabisa, yeah.
But luckily for me, I think I had continuously built myself.
Yes.
Continuously,
Yeah.
regardless of where I was building.
Yourself.
Yeah, I was building myself.
Yeah.
Making sure that I stay connected and in touch with my world so that I'm not disconnected. So luckily for me, I didn't start from scratch. So I started there. And I worked there for, that was 2016. And then by the end of, I think I worked there for 6 months. By the end of
Okay.
the 6 months, I was feeling exhausted.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
First of all, I was asking myself, am I tired with the industry? Am I tired with working, or what is happening? But I was not feeling the vibe yet again.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, something is missing. I have not reached yet. I was fired.
Okay.
But it was a mutual agreement because initially also, like I always tell people, I didn't want to resign because resigning meaning I would forfeit my salary and I needed it to move on. So
Yes.
I decided,
Let me be fired.
let me be fired. So I moved on.
Yeah.
I went back home. And back home, we started a stationery shop again. So I stayed there for a bit. The stationery shop was not working. I changed it into a beauty shop. I've always loved nail art and stuff and beauty. So I decided, let me do a nail bar. Shifted it. Tried it for a bit. Wasn't picking. I think I chose the wrong town.
Okay.
Because I did it in Kiminini. And at the time, people were still local. And they were wondering, nail art, what is that? And then, how much?
For nail
nails?
Yeah.
So I decided, wow, back to the job market. But I realized I didn't want to do hospitality per se, so I decided CV change. Thank God my diploma was front office, catering, and accommodation. So I decided, let me scrap chef, hospitality, front office.
Okay.
I went back again to my classmates.
Yeah.
It is always good to maintain friendships, I tell you.
Yeah.
So one of my college professors linked me to a moving company. So I moved to Nellions. I went, did the interview, and I got the job as a front office customer stroke sales.
Okay.
Never done sales, but it was there in my job description. So, but with my people personality, career, I was gone.
Yes.
So I was like, this is it. I'm starting a new, I'll scrap the chef business.
Yes.
So I was not even mentioning that part. I just focused on front office. So it worked well for 6 months again.
Then restlessness.
Restlessness began. And like I always say, you need to know the signs. You need to know yourself well so that you know your signs for giving up in life. Because you can save yourself a suicide.
Wow. Oh, wow.
If you know yourself very well,
you
will save yourself a suicide because you'll know when to stop. You'll know when to move on. You'll know when to change, shift gears.
Yes.
And part of the things I share in my book on how to shift gears because most people just don't know how to do it.
How to shift, yes.
Yeah. After Nellions, there's a friend of mine who had a restaurant that was stuck in Mushada. And she was like, I want to close. So I told her, I want to start my own restaurant. But I want to see if it's possible, if I can do it. So give me a job as your manager for a month. If you like it, I'll do it for 2. And once I succeed in yours, I know I'll succeed in mine.
Wow.
So luckily enough, she gave me.
Yeah.
She gave me the reins. She was doing a bakery and a restaurant at the same time. So I ran with it.
Yeah.
I managed to make her make profit for the 2 months I was there, and I realized this is it.
Wow. So you left and started yours?
Took off. So after that, luckily enough, as I was thinking of starting my own restaurant, my dad calls me. I'm retiring. I want a business to do. And I was like, I was thinking of a restaurant. And he tells me, and I was thinking of a bar. And then we joined forces.
Oh, wow.
And now we have Canon Band Restaurant.
Where
In fact,
is
right
it?
now it's a resort in Kitale.
It's a resort?
Yes.
Canon Bar and Restaurant
Yes,
Resort.
yeah.
Wow. What a journey.
Yeah.
And in between all of that, you
In
wrote
between
3
all
books.
of that, I wrote 3 books.
Let's start with this one. How to Find Peace and Prosperity. So what led to you authoring this book?
Yes. So I was looking back at my life journey, and I thought I could teach people. So part-time, besides running a restaurant, I also do life and business coach. That's what gave birth to this book.
Yeah.
And also this book is a Corona baby.
Oh, 2020, eh?
2020.
Okay.
So I survived, my restaurant survived Corona.
Yes.
The resort survived Corona, and I
Yes.
learned very, very good lessons about life and about business.
And
I decided I better
write
note
this.
them down. Yes.
So hence the chaotic world, eh?
Yes.
Got it. And it's the little things that count. What is
count.
this about?
This book is, I've had ups and downs. Thankfully, it's a joyful journey. I'm always grateful to God that my journey is not sorrowful because I know many people out there, God help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so given my journey, I learned there are very few things in life that if you look and take care of, you'll look back and you'll be happy. Because sometimes we run around, we do so many things, and then when the time comes to look back, you're like, what have I been doing all this time?
Yeah.
So I just decided, let me note down these few things so that I can remind myself and also remind other people that it's the little things that count in life.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll not remember your Range Rover, your big shamba. You will remember the lives you touched, your family. If you even had money to travel, you'll remember the places you visited.
Yes, yes.
But these other things will just turn to ash.
Ooh, I like that. And 7 steps to your ideal weight shape, Millicent's favorite book, and in my favorite color. So your mother asked you, where are you taking this weight?
Where am I taking this weight? And I thought to myself, I better do something about it.
How big were you?
I was 91 kgs.
How heavy? Yes, 91.
Yes, I was 91 kgs.
Hey.
If you look at the back of the book, you'll see the picture of before and after.
You were 91. This is you.
This is me after losing weight. Now look at the picture before. It was me at 91.
You had
You
crutches.
couldn't even recognize me. I had an accident.
This is you.
This is me. This is me.
Wow. You actually look maybe double your age. So how'd you lose the weight? No, I'm telling you. What?
Now you're interested.
I'm like, what?
Yes. I decided, number one, I'm a chef.
Yeah.
So why am I wasting this nutrition knowledge that I have in my head?
Yes.
So I sat down, I looked at the things that make you add weight and the things that make you be healthy. So I decided I'm going to choose a healthy life. So I'm going to eat everything that is healthy. And everything is healthy, actually. What you need to do is to balance out. So I decided I'm going to watch my portions and then eat healthy most of the time. And then for my cravings, like chips, samosa, mandazi, those are the things I like. I will eat, but in moderation.
Wow.
Space them out, or just taste. Eat a samosa or 2 instead of eating 5 or 6.
Well, me, I take it. Me, don't bring me those samosas here. You just see dust. Those are the things I like.
So now what I did is I would eat the things I like, often, but in small bits.
Small portions.
Instead of swallowing everything.
Yes,
And then, of course,
once
tomorrow I'll swallow again because I'll forget yesterday I ate.
Yeah. So that must take such discipline because you own a restaurant.
Yes.
And you know how to cook these things. And you have chefs also who can cook.
Yes. That is also one thing I give thanks to God for the vow to celibacy. Taught me discipline.
Discipline.
Yes. Taught me discipline. You can learn discipline anywhere. In fact, you just need to teach yourself slowly. I discovered the slower the pace, the better. Otherwise, if you force it, then you're fighting against your own will.
Yes.
Then it's counterproductive.
Got
So work with you.
Yeah.
Work with what you like.
Yeah.
Then
Go from there.
Go from there.
So if anybody wants these books, any of them, how can they find you to get the books?
I have a Facebook page, Eve
Tell
Care
them
the
which one.
author.
Which
So
one? Just say
Eve
again.
Care the author. Eve Care the author is my Facebook page. So you can reach out. All the contact details are there.
Yeah.
On my Eve Care the author.
Eve.
Eve,
So EVE.
Eve Care, yes. EVEKEYA, the author. Yes.
Yep. So do you tell the story about your time at Opus Dei in any of these books?
Yes, in snippets because I learned quite a lot.
Yes.
Even with weight, because I started losing weight before leaving.
Yeah.
So there are little snippets of stories
Here
there.
and there.
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah.
And even with a chaotic world. What I learned from Opus Dei helped me because I learned to meditate. I learned to plan better. I learned to make my mind be more clear so that I can make better decisions in order to meditate, but also live a better life. So those things helped me.
Yes.
And I share.
Yes.
Because there are things that you can do out here. You then don't necessarily have to join the group to actually do them.
You're right.
And they help.
Yes. So are you now dating properly? Like, has that part of your life settled? You know how to go there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I'm still receiving shocks in life, but...
Nyinyi kupenda shocks. Timon, Hebron, Francois, Newton. Please advise your fellow men watching. So, but at least...
But I have to say that my dating journey has given me a very beautiful baby boy.
Oh,
so
nice. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying the journey of motherhood at the moment.
Well, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. So, you know what I get from your story? That nothing is wasted. Because those 7 years you stayed there, in as much as you started to like die inside from year 5, and yes, in as much as you had, you know, those temptations, maybe year 3, year 4, but the lessons you learned there, the disciplines I'm hearing you talk about.
You carry them with you for
yes,
life.
they're there for life, and you're applying them now.
Yeah.
You
In
know,
fact, they're coming in more handy now.
more handy now.
More handy now.
Yes.
Yes. Especially as like right now, I've told you I double also as a life and business coach.
Yes.
Those are the lessons that people need to learn.
Right.
And luckily enough, I learned it as a by the way.
Imagine. Yeah.
So I'm grateful.
That's awesome. And also that, you know, that the value of like stickability. It's got stickability. Like you don't, I've made a vow and I'm staying. So even if I've gone out and it feels nice to be out there, but I come back, I just do my prayer and, you know, just reset myself, and then you serve again. But you see, if something is meant for you, then it will be for you forever.
Forever.
Or for you for the season it's
For the
supposed
season
to be.
it's supposed to last.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I know there are no regrets for you.
None whatsoever.
None.
None
Okay.
whatsoever.
I like that. Man, you have a good story. And I'm so grateful you shared your story today. Thank you for flying in from Kitale. And as you fly back, salimia watu wa Canaan Bine Restaurant. Mbona hujatuinvite sisi watu wa What's Your Story hapo?
Karibuni mukule mbuzi na pork. Specialty
Na nitabeba
yetu.
samosa.
Kwa wingi. Itakuwa special order.
Special order, courtesy of the owner.
Yes.
Ah, gosh. Eve, I'm
Karibuni
so
sana.
grateful you've shared. Thank you. That's really powerful. That's really powerful. And anyone watching tonight, and I know especially for those who've taken vows and you've chosen that, that is the path of your life. We're not discrediting that because everyone has their own journey, their own path. We're just saying, and we're also not dishonoring the process of taking vows. I hope you get that right. If that's your journey, then that's your journey and that's respected. And then there are those like Eve who served for 7 years and they said, you know what, that season of my life closes today and I'm moving on to other things. So there's no judgment, there's no prejudice, there's no bias. It is about what your life is about, really, more or less.
Definitely.
More or less.
It's about you.
Yeah, it really is about you. So to those who have maintained and you've held on to your vow, we celebrate that. And to those who've left, we also celebrate that. So both are worth celebration. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Not meant to lecture. Watu wa Kitale nimewasalimia sana. Nikikuja nitabeba samosa, mandazi. Those are my favorite things. But I'm glad you watched tonight. The show goes up on YouTube after this. My name is Catherine Mwangi. We see you again next week. This show repeats Sunday 2 p.m. So tune in and just glean a little bit more. And Eve Care is on Facebook as Eve the author. Eve Care the author. Yeah?
Yes.
Perfect. Good night.
Gem Suites Hotel and Luxury Serviced Apartments currently boasts 2 properties within Kenya. Gem Suites State House Crescent, set in the exclusive State House neighborhood, comprises of 34 well-appointed apartments, and Gem Suites Riverside, set up in a secure, private and tranquil setting. In the upscale Riverside neighborhood with 98 luxuriously appointed full-service 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, superior hotel rooms and presidential penthouses.